7:13, Big Board Sports with Rodger Wyland.
Next on Big Board Sports, the Knicks tried to beat the Heat in Miami and even the series, while the Devils try to shrug off the pesky Ottawa Senators in the NHL. The Rats are rested and ready for round two. They're just about set at the starting gate at the Kentucky Derby. And another wild Saturday night at the Valley next on Big Board Sports. Yeah, it's actually the official beginning now of Kentucky Derby Week, and Tim Wilkin from the Times-Union will join me later on here in Big Board Sports. Hi, everybody. I'm Rodger Wyland. Welcome to our 30-minute edition here on Sunday night. NBA, NHL playoffs in full swing, and why don't we start right there? Game 2 of the Knicks and the Heat from Miami, and tell you, just a little bit of a turnaround from Game 1 the other night. The Knicks trying to win without Patrick Ewing, and of course they needed more offense to do it. It fell behind by 14 points. Alonzo Mourning finished with 30, but just before the half, the Knicks make a 17-4 run. John Starks with a 3. He had 25. Part of the run was 4 3-pointers. Allen Houston with a 3. He had 24. It was tied at the break, 50-50. Fourth quarter, Knicks go on an 11-3 run. Starks big off the bench today. That put New York ahead by 9. And Larry Johnson with 22. Good move there across the lane. Starks was feeling it. John, baseline. Boy, he's either way on or way off, and he was way on today. The Knicks are up 87-79 with 3:52 to go. After Miami got back to within 5, Chris Childs stepped back behind the arc, knocked down a 3. 7 3-pointers by the Knicks today. 14 rebounds by Terry Cummings, and the Knicks end a 6-game losing streak at the Miami Arena with the 10-point win. They're going back to the Garden, all even at a game apiece.
This was very important. You know, we weren't going to hang our heads if we would have lost this game, but I think now, it's really it's night and day when you talk about this series. I think we just have to go home and try to take advantage of being at home now the series is tied.
We were very confident, extremely confident going in this game, you know, but you got to play for 48 minutes, and we didn't do that this afternoon.
Meanwhile, Game 2, Nets and Bulls tonight in Chicago. The Nets missing out on a perfect opportunity to steal one the other night in Game 1. Would they get blown out in Game 2 after missing that golden opportunity? Second quarter, the Bulls built a 21-point lead on Jersey. Michael Jordan, 2 of his 32. Scottie Pippen, little turnaround. He had 17, and the Bulls were cruising. But give this Jersey team a lot of credit. They would come back. Second half, Kerry Kittles working the inside. Part of the comeback run, he had 23. Late in the fourth, Sherman Douglas hits a 3. The Bulls' lead was just 3, 94-91. As close as Jersey would get, 96-91 the final. Game 3 is Tuesday, back in the Jersey Meadowlands.
It's tough today, I know for me, and my rhythm was off, and I seemed a little leg weary, and I got 8 hours of sleep last night too, you know, but somehow we were able to hold them back and, you know, knock down some free throws, although we missed quite a few down the stretch. Well, it was a good win for us, actually.
All right, more NBA later, but first the NHL playoffs. The New Jersey Devils finished 24 points ahead of the Ottawa Senators during the regular season. That has meant nothing in the playoffs. We got proof today. First period, Bobby Carpenter finished off the 3-on-2. Devils up 1-0, 36 seconds into the second period. Still in the second, Senators get the equalizer. Yanni Luukkonen beat Martin Brodeur to tie it. They go to overtime. Alexei Yashin, power play, a wrister right between the pads of Martin, giving the surprising Senators the 2-1 win and a 2-games-to-1 lead in the best-of-7 series. Game 4 will be played Tuesday back in Ottawa.
Series start, the importance of specialty teams, I think that's the key, and tonight they came through with 2 big goals.
It was a good effort, but obviously our backs are against the wall, and we want to come out stronger.
All right, also in the East, a wild one this was. Game 3, Capitals and Bruins, this time from the Fleet Center. And I guess it's only fitting that 2 former RPI standouts, Joey Junot, Adam Oates, had the big say in this. Let me show you the highlights. Caps and Bruins entering Game 3 with 1 win apiece. The Bruins fell behind 2-0, and then like Friday night came back Kyle McLaren from Sergei Samsonov, and it was 2-1. Third period, Bruins on the power play. Samsonov cross ice to Bork. His shot deflected in by Kristich past Kolzig, and we're tied at 2. They go to overtime. Here's the major controversy. Just over 4 minutes to go. P.J. Alexin got what appeared to be the game-winning goal, but it was disallowed when the replay showed that Tim Taylor's left skate was in the crease. Boy, just in the crease. League rules say that goals should not be waved off unless the attacking player was involved in a play. That goal, in my mind, should have counted. Then, later in overtime, former Bruin Adam Oates fed it in front to Joey Junot, who slapped it past Brian Defoe for the game winner. 3-2 Capitals. The series resumes Tuesday night in Boston before returning to Washington for Game 5 on Friday. More hockey later in this show, but first, the Sunday baseball story, what there is to tell of it, especially in the East where most of the games were rained out. The Yankees, the Mets, and the Red Sox all washed away. About the only way to cool off the Yankees and the Red Sox these days is the rain. Each team winning 13 of their last 14. Hey, if the Orioles are to keep pace, they'll have to avoid days like today. Top of the 7th, this is Ricky Henderson facing Alan Mills with the bases loaded. That is a grand slam. Ricky's second career grand slam, and the A's hammer the Orioles 12-4. Baltimore has now lost 8 of their last 11, 12-4 the final day. I'll run you through some scores. Anaheim over Tampa Bay 2-1. Also, Texas beat Kansas City. Aaron Seeley, first 5-game winner of this season. Minnesota shut out Seattle. Brad Radke, 5 hits over 6 in the third. National League, Benny Castilla had a couple of home runs. Colorado a winner. Florida on 2 home runs by Charles Johnson beat Arizona. Houston blanked Montreal. Moises Alou really got back at his dad and his former team. 5 RBI day for Moises, 15-0 there. Philadelphia and Kurt Schilling with 13 strikeouts. L.A. beat Chicago. Zeal had the game-winning RBI in 12. San Francisco over Milwaukee. Barry Bonds with his 5th grand slam of his career and 5 RBIs. And the Pirates, the first team to shut out or win a series against the Padres. Pittsburgh wins in San Diego 6-0. The Firebirds won today. They're tune-up before the home opener on Saturday at the Pepsi Arena. They were on the road in Milwaukee and played pretty well from what I understand. Mike Pulaski and Eddie Brown hooked up twice. The Firebirds defense, good storyline here, allowing only 7 points in the second half. The Birds will open the season on Saturday against Portland down at the Pepsi Arena. And a reminder that next Sunday here on Big Board Sports, we will kick off our weekly Birds Blitz segment next Sunday night. All right, we'll take a timeout, the first one of our show. More playoff action from the NBA and the NHL. We'll check in on the River Rats as they get set for round 2 of the AHL playoffs. And then later, we'll preview Saturday's run for the Roses. Times Union's Tim Wilkin will be with us coming up on Big Board Sports.
Big Board Sports is brought to you in part by Klein's All Sports, featuring Nike.
I'm Rodger Wyland. Welcome back to Big Board Sports. We go right back to the NBA. The Lakers looking for a 2-0 lead on the Portland Trail Blazers. Had them at home today at the Forum in L.A. And Magic Johnson there, of course, now one of the owners. And will remain one of the owners from what we understand. Not going to leave. Rick Fox scored 12 points in the first quarter. Game high 24. Lakers are up 29-21 after 1. But Portland makes a run. Stoudemire kept the Blazers in it. 17 points and 14 assists. The Blazers down just 2 at the break. But the third quarter was the difference. Lakers outscoring Portland 35-23. Shaq finished with 19 and 9. And the Blazers go home down 2-0 after the 108-99 loss in the best-of-5, Game 3 Tuesday night in Portland. It's just a final. Minnesota on the road tonight against George Karl and the Sonics. And the Sonics were down 5 at the break, thanks to plays like this by Stephon Marbury. Third quarter, though, Sonics make a run. Gary Payton, who had 32, drains the 3 to tie the game at 65, but a 10-2 run in the third. And the T-Wolves went back up on the Marbury bucket, 77-71, and they hang on to win tonight to even that series. Big win for Minnesota on the road, 98-93. Back on the NHL now, all of a sudden, the defending champion Detroit Red Wings find themselves very much in a series with the Phoenix Coyotes. 1-1 going back to Phoenix for Game 3 today. And Detroit, didn't waste any time. 2 goals in just over a minute. Sergei Fedorov and Brendan Shanahan giving the Wings a 2-0 lead on their first 3 shots today. But then early in the third, Rick Tocchet and Jeremy Roenick scored on the power play. Roenick there made it a 2-2 game. Then 7:13 to go, and Roenick redirects the shot past Detroit goaltender Chris Osgood. And the Coyotes beat the Red Wings 3-2 to take a 2-1 lead in their Western Conference playoff series. The Dallas Stars, the San Jose Sharks. After the Stars jumped down to a 1-0 lead, it was all San Jose. John McClain knocked over Mike Modano and scored the tying goal. Then the Sharks with 3 power play goals, and a frustrating afternoon for Dallas goaltender Eddie Belfour. Eddie didn't make the entire game. 1:33 to go. Eddie jumped on Sharks forward Sean Burr. This is what happened. It led to a brawl and forced 6 players to leave the game. Ugly stuff. Dallas as a team had 20 penalties for 75 minutes. San Jose wins 4-1, but still trail the Stars 2-1 in that series. Also in the West, Colorado has taken a 2-1 lead on Edmonton overtime. The story of this day, Joe Sakic had the big blast for the game winner, and the win gave the Avalanche a 2-1 lead in their best-of-7 quarterfinal. Colorado over Edmonton 5-4. All right, here's the Sunday golf story. We'll start first on the PGA Tour and the final round of the Greensboro Open. And this is Trevor Dodds, who battled testicular cancer just a year ago. Beautiful approach at 18, the most difficult hole on that course. Birdied that hole 3 out of 4 times this week, and the birdie there put him up by 1, but it wasn't over because Scott Verplank could force a playoff if he makes the 25-footer at 18. Perfect. Both golfers finish 12 under. They go to overtime. First hole, replay 18. Verplank made bogey. Dodds made par and won his first PGA tournament. Dodds, here's a storyline for you, and really the story of the year, became the 15th different winner this season in as many PGA Tour events. The seniors in Las Vegas, Nevada, where Hale Irwin has done it again after struggling with a 4/40 on the front. Irwin got his game together on the back and finished on the day with a 75. It was 6 under, though, for the tournament, holding off Vicente Fernandez for his 2nd straight victory and 3rd in 7 senior events. The women in Stockbridge, Georgia for the Chick-fil-A Classic, and Dottie Pepper in contention this week made birdie at 13, but couldn't catch Swedish golfer Lisa Lott Neumann, who cruised to a 3-shot win at the Eagles Landing Country Club, becoming the 3rd double winner on the LPGA Tour this year. Final round, 2 under 70. Dottie Pepper and Lori Kane tied for 2nd. Dottie with rounds of 68, 68, 69, and nearly made the Eagle at 17, but Lisa Lott the winner there. All right, still ahead on Big Board Sports, a preview of Saturday's Kentucky Derby with Tim Wilkin from the Times-Union. Chuck Bauer of East Greenbush is back with the Diamond Dogs. We'll have that story, and the River Rats are all set for round 2 of the AHL playoffs. It's all straight ahead on Big Board Sports. The Albany River Rats open 2nd round play in the AHL Friday night. They will host the Hamilton Bulldogs down at the Pepsi Arena. Rats disposing of the Adirondack Red Wings in 3 straight. But didn't necessarily play their best hockey in doing it. They realize they have to play better in the next round.
We have to improve on our discipline again. I think we're a hard-working team. When we're playing our game, we're very tough to beat. We're very good defensively, and we've outshot everybody all year. So that's our game. But we just have to pick up each series at the level of intensity picks up. And again, I'm really pleased with the way everybody's played. We've got 22 guys with us, and everybody's contributed.
We're very happy with the way we work, and we're a little disappointed with perhaps some of the discipline issues that we've had. But hey, we're a team. The 19 guys that are dressed, or 18 guys that are dressed every night, we give 110%, and whatever the outcome, we're happy with.
All right, game 1 again Friday night, 7 o'clock face-off at the Pepsi Arena. While we're talking hockey, the Uncle Sam of Troy League having a very successful first season. It's a league that has mixed the young and the older players quite well. Ages 14 to 20, playing in the 6-team Empire Junior B League at the Knickerbocker Arena. Joe Zeitzler from Galway Central, Matt Holmes from Bethlehem High School are 2 of the youngest guys on this club.
played hockey since I was maybe about 5 or so, and just this past year I came to this team, and it's pretty cool. I mean, you get to see the older guys get scouted, and I'm waiting for a couple years for me to get scouted, and that's the main thing. I'd like to play college hockey, and right now I'm just having a lot of fun trying to get stronger, bigger, play a lot better, and I've improved a lot over the season.
This team travels around the state to play some of its games, and for the first year of existence, they have pieced together a very solid season. All right, it is Derby time. The Run for the Roses is Saturday at Churchill Downs in Louisville. Unbeaten event of the year. Broke a bone in his right foot during a workout on Friday, as you probably know by now, and will not run. The field, though, loaded with horses who can win. Take your pick. Hallory Hunter, trained by Nick Zito and owned by Rick Pitino, could land in the winner's circle Saturday. Handicapper Tim Wilkin from the Times-Union dropped by and sizes up the field.
And they lost event of the year Friday because he broke a bone in his knee, and he could have been the real deal. But you got speed in there, you've got tactical speed horses, you've got horses that'll be right off it, and you got horses that are going to come flying at the end. And believe me, anyone that could say that there's a legitimate favorite right now is crazy. Hallory Hunter could definitely win. I mean, he's coming off a win in his last race, and Zito's won 2 derbies in the 90s. Although I saw an interview with Rick Pitino, and he wasn't overly confident. I mean, his horse is going to be closing at the end. And if there's speed battle up front is what I think it's going to be. He's got a huge shot to win. And I wouldn't throw out Cape Town either. That's the Lucas horse. He's won 5 and 9. He didn't have a bad race in Arkansas his last time out. You can't throw him out. This could be the next Thunder Gulch.
Does this kind of get people in the mood? Is this, I mean, this is like the big, I mean, I know there's racing during the course of the winter months, but the Derby kind of kicks off the racing season, I think, to a lot of local people around here.
Well, I think it does to a lot of people. People see the Kentucky Derby, they know Saratoga's not far behind. And, you know, there's not a lot of Eastern horses in the Derby this year. I mean, there's Zito's horse and Favorite Trick, who's with Billy Mott now, who'll probably be at Saratoga. But, you know, I don't think you'll see many Western horses coming here. Bob Baffert's never been to Saratoga, and he's got 2 of the real deals in the Derby, and Real Quiet and Indian Charlie. Well, I like Real Quiet more than Indian Charlie as a closer. But Indian Charlie, he's undefeated coming in, too, and he might be the real thing. I mean, you just don't know. You don't know who wants to get a mile and a quarter.
More with Tim, I'm sure, after the race. Thank you, Tim Wilkin. Now, the Albany-Colonie Diamond Dogs received some good news this week. Chuck Bauer from East Greenbush will be back next season. Kind of a bittersweet for Bauer, who was hoping to land a spot with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays organization. There's the pictures we have now for you. But after a very good spring, he simply got caught up in the numbers game.
Very happy to have him back. He was the top closer in the league last year, 17 saves and a 1.36 ERA, and he did get caught up. There was no AA team in Tampa, and unfortunately, he was picked up by Tampa. Had he been picked up by another team, I think he'd be on a AA roster right now.
7 local guys on this team. I mean, that's got to help a lot. I mean, with crowds and people bringing those 7 kids bringing in families and friends.
And it's 7 kids that have significant minor league experience. We have John Mueller, of course, led the league in home runs last year. Joe Mariano, probably the best shortstop in the league last year, batting .289. You have Chuck Bauer. We just signed Kevin Legault out of Waterville Elite. He was just released from the Twins spring training. He pitched in AAA for the past 2 years. Mark Lavinia, 1990 graduate from Shaker. He was with the Cubs and the Braves. Eric Sparks just got released from the Expos, and he has a very lively arm, and he's a left-hander. We're in great shape, and to be able to bring in that many local kids is just terrific for the team and great for the community.
Off the field, are you about where you want to be right now?
I think we're very much where we want to be at this time, and on the field, we're about an outfielder or 2 away. And off the field, we're in as about as good shape as we could possibly be. I think the fans are going to have a great time out there this year.
Don't forget to join us tomorrow night for Big Board Radio Sports. Pete Williams from Baseball Weekly, our guest at 7:05. When we come back, we'll recap today's top stories. We'll head down to Talladega for the Die Hard 500 and NASCAR scene, and we'll look back at last night's card at the Valley. All coming up next on Big Board Sports. This week's NASCAR stop, the Talladega Speedway for the Die Hard 500. And It started without incident. Yes, it did, but it didn't end that way. We're going to show you lap 141. Bill Elliott's car got hit by Dale Earnhardt. Elliott's car was turned sideways, triggering a 20-car pileup. The red flag stopped racing for about 27 minutes. When the race resumed, only 15 cars were left on the field lap. And after the mess was cleared up without any major injuries, the finish very exciting. Bobby Labonte and his Joe Gibbs racing team shooting by brother Terry to win the Die Hard 500. Labonte became the first Pontiac driver to win at Talladega since Richard Petty. In 1983, Jimmy Spencer was second. Dale Jarrett was third. Another big crowd at the Valley on Saturday night, Lebanon Valley Motor Speedway. And in the first of two modified races, the big crash right at the start of this one. Most of the field was involved, including Brett Hearn. Not many were knocked out of the race, though. They did resume. Kenny Tremont won the delayed 30-lap feature from last weekend, holding off Brett Hearn. The second feature was won by Eddie Marshall, with Donnie Corellis in second. Bobby Hackle won the 20-lap Sportsman's victory, and Todd Goldstein won in the street stocks. And don't forget to join me on the radio side for In the Pitch, Tuesday nights, 7:05 to 8 on AM 590 WROW, local and national racing, with the Gazette's Tom Baji on Tuesday. All right, some of what we found to be wild and wacky from the week gone by.
First man up. He takes a strike. Well, yeah, he's got something to say. Oh, they threw him out. He's gone. Kevin Brown was just ejected from the game. He'd been getting into it earlier with Joe West. Took exception to that call, and Joe West, showing a quick fuse, has thrown him out of the game. And up.
They jam away at the side of the net, and the Edmonton Oilers have scored a huge upset. 3-2 over the Colorado Avalanche, coming from behind.
Ted Treba. And this was earlier, and that was his club head, and unfortunately I think that club head is now buried.
Some of the wild and the wacky that ever happened to you. Some of the wild and the wacky from the week gone by. Hey, recapping some of our top stories on this Sunday. Allen Houston with 24 points. The Knicks came from 14 down in the first half to win by 10, even their best-of-5 series at a game apiece. And the New Jersey Nets with another strong effort, but still not enough to overcome the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls go up 2-0 in the series after tonight's 96-91 win over the Nets. All right. A lot of basketball, NBA, NHL, all coming up this week. And, of course, baseball. And what a great story in the East with the Yankees and the Red Sox, each team winning 13 of their last 14. That'll do it for this week's show. I'm Rodger Wyland for our entire staff. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you back here next week for another edition of Big Board Sports. Good night, everyone.
Big Board Sports is brought to you in part by Klein's All Sports, featuring Nike.